up, everybody? Welcome to the IAG Thursday thing, this thing that we do every Thursday. And, honestly, we've been pretty good about it, even though the race schedules kind of made stuff crazy. But we're doing okay. I'm joined this week by producer Jordan. Producer Jordan, how you doing, bud?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Not too bad. I saw you were looking big dreaming for Toter Homes.
Yeah, well, we were spitting this well, it started off as a joke for our little race team, and then I had the dumb idea to make something work. So I'm actually seriously searching for like an actual toter home and like a big ass stacker. So I'm gonna try making something work.
I'm hyped, dude. Um, we'll see where that goes because you're
Yeah.
looking at some dream rigs for sure.
Hey, they were within the idea of like what we're willing to spend if we can get funding for it.
That's true, and you'd be surprised what people spend money on these days. So,
I
I mean,
know,
whatever.
I
People
know.
spend $500,000 on Pokemon cards. So what do I know?
That's
Um,
it's true. I can dream. Okay.
um, our thumbnail, as usual, was put together by Randy. It was kind of last second. We appreciate you, Randy. Thanks, buddy. Um, this week, I'm kind of hyped to have this conversation. This is something when I heard about it, I'm like, what? Um, we all know if you've been around Subarus for any amount of time, you've heard the name Rallysport Direct. Okay. It's kind of the fabric, it's within the fabric of the North American Subaru scene. Um, for most of us that are a little older, and if you've been doing Subarus anything, I would say 2018 and back, it was probably your first stop when you started thinking about Subaru stuff. It was just, it's Google would just point you there, but like there was a lot going on, and a lot of stuff happened and things in between, and I think we can all agree it might have fell from grace a little bit, but new stuff has happened. I don't know. It's not just a logo change. There's a whole leadership change, and I'm pretty hyped when I started hearing some of the stuff behind it, who was running it, and what the plans were. So I am super super hyped to have Mr. Jeff Foster, the new COO of Rally Sport
That's
Direct,
correct.
on to chat about this and have a conversation about taking something that was enthusiast owned, then maybe it kind of wasn't enthusiast owned, and bringing it back by the enthusiast for the enthusiast. I'm pretty hyped. So thanks for coming on to chat about this, dude.
Yeah, man. Thanks for hitting me up. I know it was a little last minute, like you said, but happy to be here, and I really appreciate the opportunity.
I'm
I did find my NASDAQ membership number, by the way. I know that
nice.
was
We're doing that at the end. Don't
point.
say it yet. We do a
Okay,
whole
sorry,
drum roll and
sorry.
everything. You're good. You're good. We will get to that's one of everybody's favorite segments. So Nasiak member numbers showdown will happen. So
We have like a list, like Top Gear.
I
Like the,
think we do somewhere. We just haven't. It's
nice.
like we need to actually make like a chart
Yeah,
that I can pull out and like.
yeah, that'd be awesome.
So
I love that.
uh first off, for people who don't know who you are, give me a rundown of who you are, where you're from, what you do.
Yeah,
Yep.
deal. So yeah, I'm Jeff Foster. I'm from Rochester, New York. Let's see, Subaru wise, I got my first WRX in 2011. I wanted a satin white pearl, but that was like right when the tsunami hit Japan, and the very last one that I could get was a black. So went with that. Horrible decision for paint, but yeah, ever since then, just totally hooked. I've had 8 Subaru models. I had STIs, WRXs, Forester XTs. Had a VB for a short stint, and then in 2015, I really wanted to get into like the professional side of automotive, but I didn't have a shop or like traditional training. So I ended up starting a company called Circuit Demon. So we
Hmm.
specialized in custom headlights, mostly Subaru. And from there, yeah, like we were just able to link up with a lot of like big names in the Subaru scene, be part of some bigger builds. For me, like even before I started the company, I had an IAG built 400 horsepower STI, which back then was like
That's
pretty
getting
big.
along, man.
400 horsepower.
Dude, 400 horsepower still isn't slow. It's just Instagram makes it seem like everybody needs 900 wheel or whatever. 400 wheel STI, that will get you around. That's in trouble in all 50 states in about 3.5 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, it was fun. Like I owned the business for 10 years. We mostly did headlights. We went to 9 Wicked Big Meets, 9 Boxer Fest. Really got entrenched in the community, which was awesome. Like just so like I needed a community like that. Just to find like, like I moved around a little bit for work back then, but like everywhere I would move to, I'd kind of find like the local Subaru groups. So it was just really fun. And then, in 2023, I joined up with a couple of buddies, brought them in as partners, and we opened like the Circuit Demon performance shop side. So we did like dyno tuning with a mainline Pro Hub. We had 6 lifts. We had like an engine building area. And then, about after 2 years or so of that, just like difference in opinions as partners sometimes have. It's a little shorter period than I thought it would be until they just wanted to work on BMWs and Lamborghinis, which is cool, but I like Subarus.
I get it, and I've been there myself. So
yeah, fair enough. So yeah, at that point, took the leap, did something new, and found myself here. Yeah. So I could talk a little bit. I think I'd mentioned before, it's kind of a funny story how I
that's so I like New York to a company that's based out of Utah. That's a pretty big jump, but if your background is Subarus, especially if you started in 2011, I guarantee your first stop when you started goofing around with Subarus was probably Rallysport Direct. So
I actually found my very first part that I bought for that car in my old email. I have the receipt for it still, 2011.
Yeah, and where'd you get it from?
Rallysport Direct. Yeah.
I'm just saying, like it's so. I am willing. Most people would either start looking into Subarus or whatever, or they'd buy one and immediately go, "How do I modify it?" The first thing everybody would do is go look for like a Cobb access port or whatever. And Cobb wasn't wasn't where you would find your access port. It was almost always like Rallysport Direct. Like they always got. I tried to a company I used to work for. I had these massive arguments with them. I'm like, we're never going to beat RSD on like the very first interaction with a customer into the Subaru community. We have to be ready for the second and the third because we'll never beat them here. And like they were so far ahead when it came to that. It was unreal. So like all of us, I'm pretty sure the first performance part I ever ordered for my Subaru came from there too, but that was like way back. So
yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, and then just like I think for me, like the biggest difference of the company back then was just like how much they did. Not only just like what the parts they had were, but like the unboxing videos. Like back then, that wasn't really a thing. Like they didn't show you like what the parts came with or like what they're missing, what you needed to buy. They didn't show you the install. Like I looked up when I first came on board here, just some of the old content that Rick would make. And like they would strap GoPros underneath cars and film like sway bars and what they did, like stock versus aftermarket, and just show like the difference, like it's crazy.
It was community service in a way that I don't think that people even understand, but there was also more to it. Even, and again, we're going to get to this, but I want to kind of touch on why RSD was what RSD was.
Yeah.
One of the things they did better than anybody else, and this seems really stupid, and it is going to be one of those things that I'm going to harp on you and pray you do, okay, is they took their own pictures of every product.
Yeah.
And so it was accurate, especially when I started working in the industry. If we needed to get an accurate picture, we need to look at something and know what comes in the box. Even if I was working somewhere else, I would go to RSD to make sure that that's what was in there. And because you guys would pull everything out, they'd lay it out real nice, like, and every bolt, everything, it was all there. And like that stupid little thing meant the world to an enthusiast because you knew what actually was in there. Now we live in a day and age where like we even run into it on our site all the time. If it's not our product and we end up, we drop ship some stuff, and everybody drops ship
Yeah.
stuff these
Yeah.
days. But like our own product, we take our own pictures of, obviously we have it here and we're providing the pictures to everybody else. But like we have product that like kind of has a universal picture, and it causes absolute chaos. And a lot of this is foreign entity companies not really understanding, like the chaos they cause when they do that. And like it was such a settling thing that no matter what, if you looked up a part number on RSD and they took the picture of it, brake pads, everything else, like why do these brake pads have little tabs and whatever? And it was huge for like, going back again, take one more step back, I'm gonna show my age here. Bug Eyes, 02 and 03 WRX. The brake pads changed. There was no rhyme or reason for a late 02 and an early 03. You can have months that were the same month in different brake pads. Like they were all over the place. Narrow tab, fat tab, like all over the place. So like you could pull your pad out and go, I have this one, and get this part number. And it was the whole industry like kind of relied on RSD to do that right. And I don't think people realized it.
Yeah. We still have all the photos, which is crazy. Like when I came on board and like we were digging through the catalog, and I'll talk a little more about like that, because that was like a month, like me and one of the other like the product data guy just digging through what they had on there and fixing it. And like seeing all the old photos was crazy. Like, and it wasn't just like one or two, it was like 10 of like an EBC set of pads.
Yes.
Like you can't really get many angles of that, but they got like damn near a square inch, like yeah.
So how did you, again, New York area, and then you come in contact with us? How did that combination, like that connection happen?
Yeah. So I met you actually, funny enough, like we've been in the same orbit, but last year at CMP when I was working for Hell Performance. So I had the fortunate enough with the team there, like brought us around to some Grid Life events, and then SEMA this past year. But when I was out at SEMA, we were walking to the Turn 14 event, like that first or second night.
Yeah.
And we like got lost on the way because the convention center is so small there. So hard to get lost. But we were walking over there, and like maybe like 10 feet behind us, there was like another group of people walking. And we kind of realized like we were going the wrong way. So we asked the security guard when we ran into him, like where to go. We turned around, and then we're like, oh, are you guys going there too? They're like, yep. I was like, yep, just follow us. We'll get over there. So I just started talking to them like, hey, like, who are you guys with? Where are you from? And they were just like, oh, have you ever heard of Rallysport Direct? And I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
And like, the first thought was like the back, I know it like the back of my hand. And secondly, like it's been rough.
Yeah.
So like, who is this? Cause like, I didn't hear anything about any sort of like transition or change in hands there. So I was like pretty intrigued right off the bat. So I was like, yeah, like I know a ton about them. Like what of it? So they basically like elevator pitch were like, yeah, like we just acquired the companies from APG. So they ended up the parent company now, which is owned by Darren. He comes from like B2B like shop equipment sales.
Okay.
So mostly like selling like shop equipment to shops. But he's always been like a huge like import enthusiast. So he drives like a GRD6. He has a VBWX. Like he's just into it, drives on track, and wanted to kind of find like more of a, like a passion project or passion brand.
That's what this is going to have to be. So that's really exciting to hear. That it's not like, it's not some dude coming in. Private equity, honestly, it really gets from the community viewed upon pretty negatively. Honestly, like a lot of people point straight at RSD as to, like this huge community resource. It's like the perfect example of like how it can kind of go wrong. So the problem you have is you have some suits come in who are basically just going to try to squeeze this for as much money as possible, and they're not exactly enthusiasts, and kind of really don't understand like where the real value is, or even how like the customers were even acquired. They just know there are customers. Um,
Yeah.
and it's really cool to hear that this like legacy brand managed to get saved from that. And I'm sure this guy's got some cash or whatever, but at least he's an enthusiast. Okay. And that one core piece means a lot, that if they care about these cars and they are one of these people who would have used this site, that it's going to be treated with a little bit different approach. It's
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. Totally. So yeah, after meeting them, um, I tried to sell them on the stuff that I was selling at the time, but I saved their information and just like, maybe like a week later, I was like, I feel like I want to be part of that.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like I want to like this brand to me, like really encapsulates everything that was really good about the community at the time.
Yes.
And even like the car community, like everyone says car culture is dead. I think like whether
It's
it's
not.
nostalgia or like
Hmm.
trying to bring it back, I think for me, like that was really the reason I reached out, was like I want to try to get that feeling back for just for the Subaru community as a whole. Like good information. Like Facebook groups run everything, and I can't
Yep.
tell you how many times I forget the user's name and like the VB groups, but there was somebody who asked like some pretty new questions, which is fine. Like that's great to do.
Sure.
And then like once, maybe like a week or two in, they just started posting every day as like an authority in the group. And like the information that they were posting was like not very credible. So
No.
for me, like, so like, I think it's great. Like for me, like if you want to learn, like like interact with people. That's the number one thing to do, is
Sure.
like just soak it all in like a sponge. But I think if a lot of users out there, like, first time people that just bought a WRX and want to know what to do to it, it's hard to find like a credible source for information, a
I
credible
agree.
source for like parts. And I also think that there was a lot of issues with that in particular with the company before the transition. So
Yeah.
yeah, after I reached out and talked to them and kind of just basically said like I need to be here. Like here's why I need to be here, and I want to help you guys out. And I just want to be part of the team, and found myself in this position. So really grateful. I mean, it's been an incredible 3 months. It's been since I started,
Yeah.
but
It's got to be kind
yeah,
of
that's
whirlwind. And
awesome.
I'm sure like a lot of you guys are still probably, taking in exactly how you want to approach this. I'm sure you're starting to get some
Yeah,
fairly defined directions and whatever, but I mean, I can only imagine when you guys walked in, like, I don't want to call it a dumpster fire, but it probably wasn't exactly what I'm sure it was eye opening in some ways. So
yeah,
yeah,
totally. And I
you
think
got a
too,
hold of
like
like
even
the
talking with
data, and really could look at
yeah,
what was going on.
yeah, and real quick, like the private equity thing, because I know that there's been you posted recently about grid life, and
Hmm.
I think I was asked the question about grid life recently, and my thought is like private equity. To be honest with you, it can be really good for growth,
It
because
can.
they come in, they see what you're doing, they want to take it and grow it and scale it, and they know how to do that, and they have the money to do that. But I feel like the real issue is when things start to like pull back. So like they could dump all this money in, and as long as the machine's making money, they don't usually make too many like cuts or like big bad
Sure.
issues. But when the money starts slowing down, what happened here was like I think probably one of the first things was a lot of the faces, whether it be like Kevin or Foster or other people, got cut.
Yep.
Same thing with Justin Grimm,
Hmm.
with Grim Speed. So, and then the next thing from there was like orders wouldn't get fulfilled, and like customers, vendors wouldn't know what's going on. And the team, like we have two individuals that are still with the company from that time period, and even for them, like they saw it happen, and like whenever I talk to them about it, like I just feel really bad, because they saw what was happening and they knew exactly why. There's nothing they can do about it.
Yeah.
And people would, like they would talk to people about the issues and just be like, we're trying our best with like what we have, and that's all we got in the tank.
I get
So
it.
it sucks. Yeah, it's
So
really
like,
unfortunate, but I think yeah,
it,
what were you gonna
so
say?
I wanna So the company that purchased RSD, did they only purchase RSD, or did they also get
No,
Subi Speed, FT86 Speed, and all? Okay, so they got all of it. Did it get like? Can you
not
go?
all. So yeah, so they got it's they got we it's Rallysport Direct, Subi Speed, FT Speed,
Okay.
and then they also acquired Faction Fab. They do
Oh,
like
yep.
coilovers
No, I
and,
know
and
exactly what you're
hard parts,
talking
and
about.
then
Yep.
OLM.
Okay. So
So
that was
not Grim Speed, not PLM, not the other brands that are part
yep.
of that. Yeah.
Okay. So they basically spun off a bunch of the retail stuff and then
Yep.
yep. Okay. Cool. I mean that's I actually like I know I think I know Jeremy Boysen enough to call him a friend at this point. I've raced with him
Yeah.
for years. Like Boysen's I love Boysen to pieces. So
Yeah.
his story on where Subi Speed came from and then him being bought out by private equity and like that, it's just it. I became friends with a lot of the guys at Subi Speed too. So that's, you know,
Yeah.
Foster now works for us, and you know, a
Yep.
lot of these faces just kind of went in their own directions, and it really hurt those brands. But
Yeah.
a lot of those brands, especially, you know, Rally Sport Direct, Subi Speed, FT Speed, they have they still have a lot of pull within the community. Like I'm happy an enthusiast realized maybe we can do something with this. So
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's like the big thing is I, I don't even know if it was like an opportunity because they were like in a really like the brands were like in a pretty hurt spot. Like I
mhm,
think the community kind of saw what was happening, and I think the competitors did a really good job of getting the information out there of like private equity purchased them and is ruining them, which is fair.
mhm,
At the time, like maybe that's true. It probably is. But I think at this point, it's really about like what we try to say to our customers, especially like our vendors. Like a lot of vendors, kind of like lost faith in the previous ownership. But like we were just trying to provide value. Like at this
yeah,
point, like is like if I can comment on a Reddit post of somebody who's having like misfires and tell them like how to set cylinder roughness monitoring on 1 through 4 to see what's going like coming from, like I did that yesterday. You know what I mean? Like I want to, whether it be through our videos, through our product listings, through our content, like YouTube videos, like posting events that like,
that
I'm
stuff
posting up like track
matters.
days that we're going to like
That's
get people out and experience it.
that
Like
stuff really matters. Being a part of the community really matters. Having faces within the
yeah,
community really I mean, I'll perfect example is today. I got to be real. I hardly sold shit today. It's actually a very slow day, but I answered a shitload of questions, you
yeah,
know,
yeah,
and that's there has to be somebody there for that, you know.
totally,
And it's and there, you need that, you know, and you need stable names of people you can recognize within this community isn't that big, you know.
yeah,
That is the reality of it. Is it's not, it's a fairly small community, and we all kind of need to work together.
yeah. That's the thing is like when it came to announcing the new ownership and like the relaunch of Rally Sport. And
Mhm.
I'd love to talk a little bit more about that because I think
Yeah,
you'll probably
definitely.
like
I want to know.
the
I think the color
direction.
change and everything was a good idea, and I want to know, like, now that you guys have this, okay, we've talked about some dark times and what have happened. I kind of want to know, like, what's the plan? Like,
Yeah.
so like, yeah, let me hear it because I've got a few things I want to ask you, but like, what's the plan?
Yeah. So from here, I mean, it's really, I think from an outsider's perspective, so like 2022, 23, I would go on Rally Sports still to try to get product information
Hmm.
for myself or like our customers. And one day I went on there and I was like, this looks like Subi Speed's website. And then I went on Subi Speed's website and I'm like, it's the same website,
It
like
is the
the
same
same
thing.
menu,
Yep.
the same homepage. Like I was just blown away, and then the website like just didn't seem to like work,
Hmm.
which was like strange to me. I was just like, wow. So the first thing that I think that we did and are going to continue to do is just differentiate the sites. Like
They're
it
different
just doesn't make
brands.
any sense to me. Yeah, totally. And I think I think from everyone that I've talked to and like my own like soul searching was for Rallysport Direct, like that is a function over form site. Like
Yep.
always has been. Like if it doesn't provide performance or like a better experience, they don't sell it. They don't sell like the cheapo knockoff stuff. They
Yep.
don't sell like the pretty parts as much. They sell some of it if it,
Yeah, but it's
good, well performing parts can look good too, but
yes.
it's more about like performance. So like that for Rally Sport, what we try to do is really slim and really like be purposeful about the catalog.
Hmm.
So like getting like Paragon, G-Lock, Endless, Carbotech pads on there,
Yep.
getting like suspension companies like Annex Suspension, Feel, Ecstasy. If you've ever heard of them, they're like
Nope.
a very high end brand from Europe or England.
Okay.
It's like eight grand for a set of coilovers, like the starting ones, which is crazy. But yeah, like getting the stuff that people that demand the most from their car are looking for and might not be
Yes.
able to find because they are small brands or they're under distributed. So
Hmm.
we're looking at like our competitors and saying, what are they missing on their sites and how can we like give that to our customers so they don't have to scour the internet for this bespoke company from England or Australia to be able to do that.
Sure.
So yeah, with Rally Sport, it's mostly going to be about like the track drivers, the dyno chasers, the track curious or auto X curious people, and then for we also expanded from just Subaru. Subaru will be the priority.
Yeah.
They're like the biggest thing, but with Rally Sport, as you remember, Evo, Mazda Speed
Oh
3,
yeah, they messed around with
Focus ST, and RS.
focuses and all sorts of stuff. Yeah, and it honestly,
Yeah,
if it works, it works. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Some of those
So
some of
we,
those brands also like they cross really well. So like,
yes,
why
yes.
wouldn't you?
That's the other thing too. Is like you may know I have a GR Corolla, which I love dearly.
Yep.
I love my Subarus, but it's an exciting platform. I saw you drove one on the
It
Teledragon,
was
had a
great.
pretty good time.
Yep.
So for me, it's like we need to keep up with these exciting platforms as well. And I think with the connections that the company has, with still a lot of goodwill, I think that we can provide that same value or that same source to go to for GR Corolla owners, for Hyundai Elantra N owners, um, Civic Type R. There's a lot of options out there, but I think for us, like if we try to just be around the stuff that's really popular right now, as well as like remember where we came from, which is mostly Subaru, we'll be in a pretty good spot, for our customers to be able to take advantage of.
So if this is going to branch a little bit, then then I'm going to assume, and this is something that like Boysen killed with this. I know he did when he had Subi Speed and FT Speed is, they did have some of the more showy products. It
Yeah,
was the more parking lot meet esque, oriented
yeah,
things, which I got to be real. There's good margin in that, and and he slayed with that. He built a damn empire on it, basically.
yeah,
So I'm gonna assume you're gonna gear like Subi Speed more towards that, and then then you have FT Speed, which I think is honestly like I think that brand could be massive if steered the right
yeah,
way because of that platform is now turning into the enthusiast platform. Like it
yeah.
is. I could see you guys doing crazy with that if approached correctly, especially if you were
Yeah.
to embrace. I can't believe I'm going to say this. Swaps and
I know
all
what
this
you're
shit.
saying. Yeah, we're talking to the biggest K swap parts provider. We've had some conversations about getting that on the site.
I don't know why.
Um,
I'm pretty sure I know who you're talking to, and if you're not, you're
yeah,
crazy. Definitely talk to them. I would have
not
a
crazy.
conversation with ASM about their FA24
Yeah,
swap stuff.
yeah,
You guys need to talk to maybe Graham at Boosted Performance Tuning so he can have a conversation with you guys about Link and how easy it is. And
yeah,
Link, I guarantee, would, you guys all together could probably put some real nice plug and play stuff together. Like
yeah,
there's some really neat stuff you guys could do with that also. Me being a huge BRZ, FT enthusiast, I that platform's exploding, and every time you stick somebody in it, especially if they haven't been in one in a while, and they hop in one with like an FA24 or, you know, a
Mhm.
K swap or something like that, it just blows their mind how good it actually is. I don't know if you saw the most recent Gears and Gasoline where Ben FA24 swapped one and they drove it around. They're like, this has no right being this good. The whole thing was done for under 10 grand and they're
It's
madly in
crazy.
love with it. You know what I mean?
Crazy.
So
Yeah.
like that platform is so easy for enthusiasts to get into. And then on the flip side of this, Rallysport Direct, if I'm reading this correctly, and this is me just kind of like I'm on my soapbox and talking to you guys, but
Did it.
I every day talk to guys like me who, and I'm going to be the kind of guy who's going to really remember Rally Sport, okay? That we're now coming back to our STIs, our GD STIs, our bug eyes and stuff like that, and trying to like build these the way we wanted to when we were younger with like a
Yeah.
modern twist, you know? And like getting that product in one spot with good information of what's left and what's not. And, you know, if you guys do have enough market share and the ability to make stuff happen, maybe get some of these parts that haven't been made in a while, like fired back up again. You know, you guys,
Yeah.
you hit up Cusco to have the strut bar that I've been trying to find in stock.
I saw that. Why
You
don't you
know,
just
like
walk-
we're working on it, okay? And that's actually what's happening right now. But you get
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Like, there's
Yeah.
if I understand 10 years ago, like maybe the GD market was like, well, I mean, these are all old trash things. Now that customer is actually drastically different. This is not the
Yeah.
$3,000 bug eye anymore. You know, this is you're selling to somebody who just paid $20,000 minimum, you know, for
Yeah.
their '05 STI that wants to do it 100% correct, and they're very
Oh, yeah.
willing to do it.
Super clean.
Yeah, they want to do it right, and those guys will spend money on the right parts. Like it's
Yeah.
not eBay builds anymore with those.
Yeah. Yeah, I think for like yeah, I mean that all is definitely like part
Mhm.
of the strategy moving forward
Sure.
is making sure. I remember when they discontinued the yeah, like a lot of the GD parts
Yep.
a couple years back, as well as raised the price by like 25%. But yeah, I mean I think there's definitely who was talking about that recently? Was it Art? About bringing back some
It was
or
probably
you?
me.
Yeah, on that one too. Probably.
I've been arguing with like I've been on the Flat Irons podcast a lot. And that's an argument I've been
Yeah.
bringing up a lot lately too. Is like,
No,
yeah,
well, you speak from experience with the bug eye, so
yeah.
I'm sure you're
I've
looking. I
also
saw you
got
got
no
that,
five
even that orange
STI here
reflector.
too. Like I've got no
Yeah,
5 STI and a bug eye here that, and it's
yeah.
not just me though. Like what I realized when
No,
I started getting loud about it is when I started posting about my bug eye, people started hitting me up out of the woodwork going, "Oh dude, like I'm trying to do the same thing or I want to," and
yeah,
I didn't realize how bad the situation was out there for GDs till I got my bug eye and started looking for basic things and I'm like, "What the hell?"
yeah,
Yep, it's
yeah,
rough.
yeah. I think it'd be awesome. I think too, like I don't know. I'm sure that there's like a lot of companies through like our we still have like a lot of connections to like the manufacturing network that they had prior. You know,
Sure.
I'm sure that Jeremy set up. So that's definitely something we could look into. You know, obviously we'd want to do it like the right way and make sure it's
Yeah,
like the
absolutely.
like
And
top quality and
that's not even you can't flip the switch on something like that
no,
tomorrow. You know
yeah,
what I mean? That's something that it's going to take some research to figure out what works, but it's going to take
yeah,
community oriented businesses like you guys and you know some of your competitors whatever us to come through on stuff like that, you know,
yeah,
and you know if we're going to keep running these things forever. um the other thing I think is going to explode here soon, and I think you know the owners of the company got in at the perfect time, is we are going to get a new STI soon, and Subaru
yeah,
is making a hard run towards performance again.
yeah,
They took a just hard left straight for it. So I think we're about to see the second generation that literally Subaru The North American Subaru Community 2.0, I think is what we're about
Yeah.
to get here real quick. Which is exciting. I think we live in very exciting times. And you
Yeah.
guys are going to be on the bleeding edge of that, I'm sure, just like we will. You know, it's
I
we're,
almost wonder too if like how like a lot of the like people looked at what's cross compatible for like the older models to the newer. I almost wonder like with the new one coming out, what I mean, it's gonna be what VB came out 2022.
yep.
It'll probably be 28 maybe. So
I
I'm almost
think
curious like
I,
what parts for that new vehicle are gonna fit the old ones
I'm
too.
thinking a ton. I'm
Yeah,
thinking a ton, but not only that, I'm wondering how much of the let's be real. This is if it's an STI, it's gonna have the STI 6-speed. Okay. So
yeah,
it's gonna use that same clutch and it's probably gonna have that same old R180. So all the diffs that have been working all the way back since '01 are gonna work
yeah,
still. And like there's gonna be a lot of the old stuff is still gonna work, but like this new F824, way better engine, better flowing
yep,
heads, new bottom end design. And, it's a good step up even from the FA20. And now they're going to STIify the FA24. I think we're in for some pretty exciting times in the not too distant future. And I think you guys are
yeah,
right in the right spot for it.
yeah. I was gonna post this, but I thought I might like look silly. But you might know this. The BRZ like rally concept they
Yes,
came out with. That's the FA24.
I think that's
The
sick.
charge pipe. So it goes to the front of the intake manifold, and then the other one goes like right in front of the driver's seat. Is the
Yeah.
turbo back there?
Yes. They put it in
I
a
noticed that. I
standard
was like,
Subaru, like almost like an EJ configuration.
yeah,
And
yeah. That's what I was wondering.
so that's an FA24, but that's a BRZ FA24, which is even crazier because it still kept port injection with it.
Oh,
And how they did that, that was such a wild build. I hope people don't think we're about to get an all-wheel drive BRZ anytime soon because it ain't coming. Okay, but
yeah,
they smashed the with the engine right against the firewall. They had nowhere to put that front diff. That front diff is they basically raised the engine and put the front diff under it. It's insane how they made that work. But what I could see is like if there's enough hype about this and this new Celica that's supposedly coming gets a little bit of hype.
yeah,
I'm almost wondering if the Subaru might be putting a little cash behind that as a test to see what
yeah,
maybe the next base model car might be. You know,
yeah,
I don't see the BRZ existing in a few years, unfortunately. Without
yeah. Agreed.
Toyota there to like make it make sense, I don't think the numbers are there for it, which sucks because I think it's like the greatest platform ever.
Yeah,
But I could see there being a like model under like a smaller I guess it would be an Impreza, but it's not technically an Impreza. I don't know. Like
mhm,
a more base model that they build something off of, and it maybe even be a
yeah.
two-door. So,
That would be cool.
yeah.
That'd be really cool.
I
Yeah,
don't
I was
know.
wondering what they did with the brake booster with the turbo there. That's what I was like. I was like, I can't be the turbo can't be there because the brake booster, but maybe they
They
run on the
they
pedal
they
box. I don't know.
honestly they probably got rid of the brake booster completely.
Yeah,
I'm thinking about doing that on Boogie even.
yeah.
Yeah, I want the pedal feel. It's Boogie's brakes.
You like the face bait dual piston or
Yeah, we'd go to yeah, I'm on just a basic STI setup right now, but we would go
yeah,
to I'm not sure exactly what size master we'd go to, but we'd get rid of the booster. I'd go to I could do proper brake bias with I'd have
yeah,
two masters then, which would be really nice. And the nice thing would be brake feel going in. Okay, so like I'd have to put a lot more effort going in, but really coming out is where that's nice. So trail braking, I could get the car to rotate better,
yeah.
and it. Believe me, I'm probably going to test it on my GLTC BRZ when I finally get that thing done, and then if I love it in there, it's going into
Sick.
Boogie. Um,
Yeah.
so I guess more talking about the future and what you guys are planning on doing. Are there plans on trying to do more community oriented, like educational content again?
Yes. So let's see.
I want sway bar videos.
I wanted to mention this again too, but so right now we have a warehouse in Gilroy, California, which is just south of San Jose.
Okay.
And then we are hopefully by the end of May we'll have the second one just south of San Francisco.
Yep.
So we'll have those, and then our strategy for product. Would it be great to have everything that we have on the website in stock? It would be awesome.
Sure.
Is that realistic?
Not anymore.
Nah. And the biggest thing for me is like if somebody needs like a parent part, like they have that. Like Turn has like people have that on the shelf.
Absolutely.
Does it make sense to the customer for us to spend the money just to have that same part that we could get same day from somewhere else? So the big thing that we're going to try to do is fill those warehouses with product that either has a longer lead time, is specialty, so like there's not a lot of it out there,
Mhm.
or if it's product from like Australia, Europe, UK, that typically they have to like customers have to wait 4 to 6 weeks for. If we have that in stock, like that makes it just so much better for them as opposed to like waiting and then us, trying to update them where it is.
I agree.
So that's what we're really going to try to do and get. We might not have photos of, like every domestic brands part, but we're going to try to have like that same thing before where it's like, I
The
don't know
big
anything
thing,
about this part from
if
Australia, but here's all the pictures.
let's say you don't have whatever random Hawk brake pad, okay, or actually, we'll use EBC, because as much as I love that company, and I will be the first one to tell you I am sponsored by EBC, and I do love SR21s, and they're phenomenal. Their data feed to the rest of us is ass.
Mhm.
And if you go try to find EBC brake pads for your bug eye or whatever, it's a nightmare.
Yeah.
I would love to see some of that cleaned up, if you guys were to, at least just
What
make
if I
sure.
told you it was?
Perfect. This is what I want to hear. This is great.
So I went through with our product data specialist Mirza, and we went through like 02 and 03 pads, and it's not the slider spacing, it's the post spacing.
Mhm.
So we have that information like in the product title.
Yeah.
And then it only like the one that's only for 02 is only in 02 and not like in 04, 05.
What I know I'd be asking the world to you, and I'm not telling you guys to redo everybody's data. You guys should keep that for yourself. But God, I would love that to go back the other effing direction and them actually change it. But like, I totally see.
It's funny you brought that up, because like that was like, this is how nitty gritty we're getting.
Good.
Is like we are diving so far in, and like, yeah,
it matters.
Before,
this stuff matters.
Like dual AVCS cams before was like 04 to 21 STI. And I'm like, no, it's like stuff like that. So I think for me, it's like bringing that knowledge in about like what works for what vehicles and what doesn't.
Sure.
The team is like, so like, they're so excited to get that set, like that's been like an issue in the past. And I'm really happy to say that like everybody here is really excited to like nail that. So yeah, we're trying to dig in like as many details. As far as community events, the reason I brought up the warehouses was the other one in South San Francisco. We are going to use that to open to the public. So our plan is like, once that's set and in place, you could pick parts up. That's not going to help us East Coasters, but the team out, the community out there.
It's still going to help. That's still like a will call thing. Like that community is going to get serviced way better. And like, are you guys planning on like holding meets or anything there?
Yeah.
And
the other thing too is like working with the local area clubs.
Yes.
Like we're sponsoring NASA this year.
Awesome.
So that'll be announced next week. And part of that is like, we want to get track days in people's hands, so like whether we do like giveaways to like get people out there, whether we like just show people like my big issue with, I first did a track day like 3 years ago. I've been in a car since 2011. I had capable cars that could do it, but I always thought like the barrier to entry was so high. Like I felt like you had to know all the stuff. You had all the stuff done to your car. It's so easy. You can bring
Yep.
a stock car there.
You could
and
go
just, like,
rent,
rip and
and
have so
I
much fun.
have been on a track with a rental car. Like, you can take anything you want. It is literally just a road with no speed limits.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, go
Yeah.
track a rental car sometime you've never lived. Don't do that. It's
Yeah.
very ill-advised, but I'm not gonna lie, I had a really good time. Fastest
Nice.
car
Awesome.
on the planet is a rental car.
Yeah, I've heard that before. So yeah, that's like some of the stuff we're trying to do is like just a little different, and like we don't, like we're not a big company. Like it's very rare. I can't think of any like community driven enthusiast brand that got bought by private equity and then went back to enthusiasts. I can't.
I can't
It
either.
doesn't
And
happen.
this
They
is
go out of business,
this is why I'm excited to hear this and see what
Yeah.
your plan is. And I hope I hope the community's watching, because like I desperately want you guys to be successful with this, because if the community can basically get back its like its fabric,
Yeah.
like we could rebuild it, and
Yeah.
because let's be real, we're not in the same position we were in 2015. You know what I mean? Like a lot's changed, and some of it not for the better. And
Yep.
I think we'd all like to see more of that, and it's
Yeah.
dude, I love it. So
Yeah, I think for us, like, this year is just going to be about like making sure that we're taking care of our customers and our vendors. Like
Yep.
that's it. Like we want to do stuff, we want to do events, but like it's not a big corporation. We don't have like billions of dollars to spend on
the
doing
company's
huge
got to
things, but-
function before you can start doing more.
Totally. But we're gonna
Yeah.
like we're gonna be scrappy, and like I'm going to Hyperfest in 2 weeks. And it's just me. Like I'm going down there, I'm camping, I'm driving.
Yep.
We put it up, and we even said like we're not doing a booth, but I'm gonna be out there. And if you want to connect and talk and like show me your car, I'm gonna have my camera with me. We'll like do like a little like rundown of your build. Like I'm sure like our followers would love to see that.
Yes.
And like to me, like it's a little like ghetto, but it like that's what it's. I don't know. It's like connecting with people and connecting like that person with their build at that event with like the nation of Subaru owners that have their eyes on our stuff. Like I don't know. That
look
to
at
me
it
is
this
like
way
it's
also.
really.
So you're going to a lot of people don't know what Hyperfest is, but think of it like NASA Grid Life, okay? But it's actually kind of the opposite, because Hyperfest came before Grid Life. But it's a big, massive kind of everything going on, huge party track event at VIR. It's something I've always actually wanted to go to, and just it never works out. But you just said a few minutes ago how like going to the track seemed like this crazy thing that you had to build this insane thing to go do. You need to go find that guy that's there on a set of like brake pads and a helmet, if you can show that, even though it's a little quote unquote ghetto or whatever, people can connect with that. Yeah, we want to see things like Boogie and shit ripping around. That's cool. Like stuff to kind of like, I don't know, aspire to or whatever. But like to me, like more people are there, a BRZ with basic suspension and some tires and dude with a helmet. That's it. He drove the car there. Like people want to see that because they can wrap their brain around going to the track. Like go use your damn car. And this is something I've been trying to like, that's why I bought the Bug Eye. Is like the whole concept behind the Bug Eye is go use your car this weekend. Hopefully my clutch holds out. This weekend I'm driving up to Chicago to go to an OG Subaru meet from Tennessee up to Chicago. Yeah, just to like go hang out with the homies and with my Bug Eye and like that's go do stuff. And I plan on taking that on track days and all sorts of shit and trying to show people how to do it. And like you guys should be doing that too, like, and talking, like you just said, go to these events, even if it's just you, and go get video of that person who's just, they're just starting out, but if they're having a great time, you can have a great time too.
Totally. 100%.
Yep.
100%.
Love it.
What Subaru meet no longer exists that you want to come back?
Oh, so I gotta be real. What I want to see come back more is local Subaru meets. Like I want local like your town or your area, you know, like when I lived in Chicago, we had the Algonquin Subaru meet. Okay.
Mm.
And we called it the Gonk, and everybody knew it was it, you know, on this night it would always be there at this same location. And I, shit, we did that for like a decade, you know, and
Yeah.
it was guaranteed we were going to be there unless something insane was going on. And I miss knowing that there's some sort of meet somewhere, whether it be a Subaru
Yeah.
meet or just that. Like
Yeah.
you know, Friday nights, you know, you're guaranteed there's going to be some car guys hanging around this restaurant in this town, and people would just know that and they'd go. You know, like cruising is kind of dead. Like I want cruising to come
Yeah.
back.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like as far as like larger Subaru meets, I don't really know what I'd like to see here in the States, and it's going to take again companies like you guys, companies like us, all bonding together to do this. I want to see a Subi Nats style event like they do in Australia. I want to see a Subi Nats US. Okay. We have the Subi events guys, Robert Champion and all those dudes. Okay. We could run a time attack event, and this is a conversation that I've had with Adam Jabay at Grid Life a few times. They're all for it. Okay. To run it.
Yeah.
All right. And then so we have the Subi events and then we need to be at a track that's also got a drag strip. So you bring all the drag racers out and we do all of it in one spot. Come do Subaru shit. And the perfect location for this, and everybody looks at me like I got a freaking third eye when I say this, but it's going to be a national event, is Kansas. It is, they just reopened the track there. It's killing me. Heartlands. Okay. So it's a giant facility that has a pro style drag strip there. So you could run 1 million cars through it. No problem. An awesome road course and enough room to even run a rally cross. You could have a whole Subi events thing. You make it a 2-day event. People pilgrimage to this thing every year. Dude, it would slay. It would absolutely slay.
Yeah.
And
that's what I miss is like the weekend long event, like Subaru events.
Yep.
I was actually gonna say, like humble brag, my best engine bay at Ocean City all-wheel drive meet.
Nice.
No big deal.
You East Coast guys, like you had some cool shit like that. Understand, I'm within the Midwest. We didn't get any of that cool shit.
Yeah, but that to me was like the full weekend. Like you're on like Ocean City Strip, which is impossible nowadays.
No.
And then, you know, like you drive to the Subaru dealership, like IAG had the full trailer, like every vendor came out.
Yeah.
And Wicked Big Meet was always the next day. So that was Saturday, and then Wicked Big Meet was Sunday. So we would drive.
So it'd be a 2-day thing. That's how it would become 2-day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you'd have this huge pilgrimage of Subarus heading up to that. How sick. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, I guess if we're to throw it back even further, then that's kind of I'm going to really date myself here. Do you remember Nopi Nationals?
I don't. Okay.
Well, Nopi was insane. Okay. If you ever get a chance to maybe look up some old videos of Nopi, nuts. Yeah. Okay. And Super Street used to run this thing where every direction that they would come from, they would organize a cruise. So Super Street Magazine would organize the cruise. So they'd all be like, everybody meet here and we're going to cruise from here. And then they'd be picking people up on the highway as they went. So it'd be like 400 cars coming down the highway, and then they'd videotape it and like take pictures. Awesome. It'd be in the magazine. And oh my God, dude, it made Nopi Nationals seem like this insane huge thing. And honestly, the number of cars they had there, it was huge, but I'd like to see something like that come back again too. We got two problems with this though. One, the people would have to act right. Okay. The takeover crowd would get really bad. And so two with that is going to be because of the takeover crowd. I could see cops trying to break that up real fast. If people didn't know how to act, it would get beat to shit. So some of these things, they might just be just a memory, but I still think like there's probably something to it. If smaller groups that organize themselves, 20 cars ain't a big deal. It's like 400 cars on the highway is a problem,
Yeah. 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 I'm hoping to like, maybe, I don't know. It's tough. Like, how can you inspire somebody to like get off the couch and get off Instagram and go to like a local meetup?
You got to
Something that
convince
I
them they
ask
can
myself
though.
is like,
I
yeah,
so I thought about this has been kind of kicking my ass too, but then you start looking at, have you seen the whole Gen Z basically rejecting modern technology and starting to get into quote unquote retro tech? They're buying
I listen to a podcast about cell phones.
they're buying old iPods. They're buying like
Yeah.
stuff that is like what we would consider dumb devices at this point because they're not internet connected devices, and preferring that. There's a push to a more analog thing, where and people want to interact with people. It's almost a swing that came back from COVID, where people just wanted a damn hug because you couldn't touch each other, and but we got so ingrained with social media during COVID that I think we're actually getting to a point where we're starting to reject that too. And AI has ruined a lot of that. And we don't know what's real and what's not anymore. So if we're looking at it on a screen, we just assume it's tainted. But if you go experience it in real life, it's not.
Totally.
So we need to, again, as a community, embrace more of that. But we have to make it happen to do that. And I got to be real. It's going to take some risk. We got to preach it, but then we actually have to make the damn event. And we gotta, the more we can get everybody involved, the better. It's
almost wonder if like Subi events could turn it into a 2-day. I think a lot of people get hotels. Like
they absolutely do.
There is some people who drive down like, at 4 a.m. to make it for the Sunday meet and then drive, home and get back at 2 a.m. But I think like if they were to turn it into like a Saturday, Sunday, and Saturday is like more of like a fun, like events type thing. And then Sunday is more like the show.
Even if they made it like it's Saturday, Sunday, like the vendors are all there doing their shit Saturday and Sunday. Right. But like nothing really important happened until at least Saturday night. Okay. Yeah, dude, it'd kill it. And can you imagine, like, let's say we do this at a track, so we've got tons of room. You know what I mean?
Camping,
can you imagine how incredible that, like, essentially parking lot meet would be? Especially if the cops can't just roll in and ruin the party. So if you're all just having a good time, hell, if you want to do 2 a.m. two-step, like, which we have done many times at Grid Life. It's like one of my favorite things at Grid Life Midwest is 2 a.m. two-step. You could, but the community also we'd be able to police ourselves. You know what I mean? If somebody's trying to do donuts or act completely ridiculous, we throw them the hell out. They ain't with us.
Yeah.
And I think that would work. In let's say it's not Kansas, okay? That's too far, and we decide to make it more of an East Coast thing. That's one of the nice things about racetracks is they have a lot of room, and most of them are set up, designed for people to be there at night. There's I personally think a racetrack is the answer for this.
It'd be really cool if there was like we went to Sonoma for SRO, like TC and GR Cup a few weeks back, and that track has a quarter mile.
It's quarter
or eighth. I don't know.
No, Sonoma's got a quarter.
And the track. That would be cool if there was like a West Coast and then an East Coast, and then like the winners or whatever met in Kansas.
Yeah,
kind of a thing. That'd be a lot to ask.
Better.
But,
so
like,
then there was one in the middle that everybody came to, but like, you had an East and a West Coast, and like, yes. We do 3 a year, and you can. The beauty of California's weather is you could do one really early in the year, even off season, it would still slay. And then you could, do one that after it warmed up a little bit more on the East Coast. Yeah. And then we all meet in the middle, or however we did it. Or maybe they were smaller events at smaller tracks. And then the middle one also had drag racing. So then you got road courses or what, but what I'd like to do is I'd like to make it easy to expose new people, maybe like show car people and stuff like that, to all sides of Subaru. You know,
Yeah.
I really would it even be better if we could even show like a, you know, have like a rallycross course, like a good rallycross
Yeah.
course. You know, that we could show not just we could show it all. Like these are all the cool things you can do with your car. You know, and like doing things with your car. Obviously there'll be a car show, but like doing things is really we need more of that.
Yeah. Experiences. Yeah.
All right, man. Well, we got some business to attend to, and then I think we're gonna call it. Okay.
Yeah.
So we do this thing called the NASIAC Member Number Showdown. Okay. And you're not going to escape this because you are OG enough to have an NASIAC member number. And
right.
this is kind of like our weird star in a reasonably priced car. But we're gonna do the
I
damn
wonder how
thing.
I do compared to others. I'm actually curious now.
I'm gonna let you know here in a minute, but I'm gonna tell you the cutoff. Noob Jesus was 200,000. Okay, that guy's name was Spooty Puff, and he was So don't say your number yet. All right, NASIAC member number showdown. Jeff Foster, what is your NASIAC member number?
2
Oh,
97
oh,
441.
you are
October
definitely above Noob
2011.
Jesus, but you are definitely not the highest one we've had.
Nice.
Okay,
I
you're
feel
probably
good
about
that.
mid-pack.
I'm in the middle.
You're probably about mid-pack.
Perfect.
Okay, we can deal with that.
I'm fine with that.
If you I'm just gonna throw this out there. I like bragging. Okay. I still consider myself a little on the noob scale because I hung out on iClub probably longer than I should have. And I came in with the glut of O2WRX people. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I am 37078.
That's awesome.
I fart
You've
dust.
seen it all, man.
I've been
You've
around a
seen it
minute,
all.
dude. Been around a minute.
That's incredible. That's
So
awesome.
you're again, I've been beat too. Like I've had a few people on here that have
Really?
beat me. Yeah. It's like old farts, man. Been around a minute. But
Fair.
yeah, you're probably about mid-pack. Well, one of these days we'll get a
Cool.
sheet and see where exactly you land on the list, and we should probably put a site up somewhere where we just keep the member number thing going.
There you go.
Whatever.
Very cool.
But either way,
You got a website now. Put it on there.
we have a couple of websites actually, but teamboogeyman.com is sick, right?
There you go. There you go. I checked it out when it launched.
Yep. It's pretty sick. Then we've also been
Cool.
Jordan and I have this side project going with gofastersuck.com, but always check out IAGperformance.com. And now that we're all in order and things are getting better, Rallysportdirect.com, Subi Speed and FT Speed, all under the same umbrella, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So Jeff,
Oh,
dude,
real quick. I know we're signing out, but
yeah,
we want to do better. Like we know that a lot of people lost faith, and we're frustrated, and I'm not here to like spout off and say that like everything's perfect and it's all fixed, and like any customer that comes to our site's gonna have like like never ever encounter an issue ever. But I'm really proud and really excited about like how much we've done. I think our customers are really excited. We've gotten so much like positive feedback from people that had a bad experience that came back and had a great one. So
That's awesome to
hold
hear.
us to it. If anyone has like any feedback or like any if they had a bad experience before and they want to talk about it, I tell everybody like just hit me up. Like I'm here.
How do they get a hold of you?
Love to chat. The best way would probably be either support at rallysportdirect.com. Actually, it's right on the website. They'll send it right to me. Just ask for Jeff. And I'll give you a call. I'll give you however you want to talk. But yeah, we know that we want to do better than where we were. We're already doing it, but we have a lot more to prove, and we'd rather do it than say it. So hold us to it.
That's all you can ask for. Okay. And I got to be real. Nobody's perfect. I mean, nobody's perfect. We sure as hell ain't perfect. And, it's not, you're really judged how you deal
Yes.
something that goes wrong, not something that goes right. Okay. And
Yeah.
and how you handle that. And again, I've said this a couple times. I am super hyped to hear that this like, again, like, fabric of the community, like pillar of the community, name is owned by enthusiasts again. And I
Yeah.
am really hyped to see where you guys take this. Um and it's awesome. Like, again, you guys are IAG dealers, so this all makes sense.
Yeah.
The better you do, the better we do, and honestly, I think the whole
There you
community
go.
does. But we're hyped. We want to see you guys just slay it. And I personally, I think you guys got some great ideas and approaches, especially if your plan is to like warehouse a bunch of stuff that is harder to get, so
Yeah.
I think the community needs that,
Yeah.
not just stuff that you could get from turn 14 just happens to be in some other warehouse. I would love to be able to order this damn Cusco bar. You know what I mean?
There you go. There you go.
So you guys are we're hyped, but I got to be real. The community can be a fickle bitch, and where they will hold you to it. But
They should. We want it. We want it.
I'm hyped for you guys to try, and I'm excited to see what happens on the other side. So, yeah, check out Rallysport Direct's new site, guys, or new direction. Make sure you keep up on them. Sounds like you guys are going to be doing some social, and
Yep.
maybe some of the more in-depth stuff's probably going to come later. But you guys, you gotta plug the holes in the ship first. It can't be leaking before you you start sailing.
Yeah. Yeah, the priority is that, and then we'll make things look pretty. So yeah, totally.
Yep, for sure. All right, man. Well, again, I can't thank you enough for being on. This has been I think the community's gonna find this pretty informative, and we're all hyped. We're hyped to hear from you.
Awesome, man.
I'm sure we're gonna end up having you on again too. So
Appreciate it. That'd be awesome. I'd
yeah,
love to.
let us know
I'd
how
love to. I'll see you at I'll be at Grid Life at the Glen. It's like an hour away, so I'll be there,
yes,
and then
that's gonna be a killer event.
yeah, I can't wait. So
Yep.
I'll see you out there for sure.
Sick. We're gonna haul ass, dude. So
Oh yeah.
next week, I don't know if we're gonna miss doing an episode or not, or maybe we'll do an episode from there, but we'll be at Road Atlanta, and it's gonna be pretty crazy, and the schedule is absolutely nuts. So wish us luck on that.
Yeah, it's gonna be a very tight schedule.
It's gonna be
very
nuts.
fast-paced weekend.
We'll do our best. So it's been fun. It's been real fun, and we'll see you guys next time.